Mayor Adams is coming up on 100 days in office, and among his achievements so far, taking down homeless encampments and starting a new anti-gun unit.
CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer sat down with the mayor for an exclusive interview about how he thinks things are going so far.
Marcia.
Mark Twain once said that clothes make the man, and Eric Adams has taken that to heart. He may have looked casual on the campaign trail, but now that he's mayor, it's spiffy suits and carefully chosen ties. Ask him why, and you get an unvarnished Ericism.
Before people eat a meal, they see the meal. Before people hear what I have to say, they must look and say, he knows what he's saying.
Adams has no shortage of confidence in himself, his legendary swagger. But when I asked him how his life has changed since he took the oath of office on January 1st, he said it wasn't the type of problem, but the number.
The volume is a lot. Every day, all day. No more drinking out of a garden hose. You're drinking out of a fire hose.
His best day so far? Announcing a program to create jobs for foster children. His worst day, when police officers Jason Rivera and Wilbert Moore were killed, and he had to face their families at the hospital.
It was just so painful. And I remember walking into the room and watching the faces, and you know, sometimes pain reaches an intensity point, then it starts to dissipate. In that hospital, it never dissipated. It just stayed at that level of pain, and it was hard. It was hard.
Repeatedly over the past few days, you've said that you inherited dysfunctional city. Who's to blame for that?
It's a combination. We create crises, and we've normalized them by siloing government. So people say, Eric, what is the one thing that you're going to do? I'm going to make government work together as a team.
So some people say you're the anti-de Blasio. Do you think that's true?
No, I'm just a pro-Eric. Because, you know, people want to compare you to de Blasio. They want to compare you to Giuliani. They want to compare you to...
So who do you want them to compare you to?
I think the perfect combination for me is, I always say two, but it's actually three.
Adams mentioned David Dinkins, Mike Bloomberg, and Ed Koch. He sees a lot of Ed Koch in himself.
Mayor Koch. Koch was a character.
On day one, Eric Adams pledged in his words to get stuff done. And so far, that includes putting more cops on the subway, establishing neighborhood safety teams to get guns off the street, a promise to improve safety at 1,000 traffic intersections, and a blueprint for economic recovery. He also ran into a buzzsaw of criticism when, as part of that economic recovery, he decided to lift the vaccine mandate for sports and entertainment figures like Kyrie Irving. Public employees were furious because over 1,400 lost their jobs because they wouldn't get the vaccine. Thousands more could lose their appeals. I asked the mayor if he would rehire those who lost their jobs, especially the cops, firefighters, and emergency medical personnel. The answer was a firm no. He says they just have to get the vaccine.
If you love the job, you're not going to allow a COVID shot to get in the way.
Now, Mayor Adams is already deep into planning his next 100 days, but first he says he's going to give a major address to New Yorkers to tell them the scope of the problems he's discovered since taking office. He calls it an FDR moment. Christina Maurice?
Yeah, he needs to be more confident, don't you think? Interesting the comparison he makes of himself to Ed Koch, though, right?
But the thing is, they both had that flair for being a character, but also they had incredible confidence, and I think that's a really good thing.
No question.
Thank you, Marcia.
All right, and to see Marcia's full one-on-one with Mayor Adams, watch our special, The First 100 Days. That's tomorrow morning at 9 on our streaming service, CBS News New York.